Software Engineering 2, CSC 351. In this video, we're going to set up the environment, and we're setting up a MERN stack. And I'm going to be setting it up on a brand new laptop and going through the steps myself, and we'll just see how it goes for me, and you can sort of follow along. So first, we're going to talk about what the MERN environment is just a little bit so that when we install the pieces, you know what pieces we're talking about. So let me just switch to a second set of slides where we can take a look at MERN. The MERN stack. The MERN stack is a set of technologies for developing web applications. And we're going to talk about this later. This is just a really fast intro to it. And so the four pieces of the MERN stack are MongoDB. That's going to be storing the data. It is not a SQL-based database. And then we have React.js. I'm going to jump to this one, the R. This is on the client side, basically. It'll ultimately really be in the person's browser on their laptop where they're reaching your website, but in the browser, they're running some React.js code that you have served up to them from the server. So that's the R. Node.js and Express.js. The two of them are working together as a web server. It's an environment where you can create something on your server that can respond to requests. So when someone enters a URL to hit a service, the React.js and Node.js really kind of talk about Node.js. It can understand that, oh, that's for me, and then it knows what to do to reply to that script. And so to reply to the script, it might be hitting the MongoDB database to get some data, or it might not be. And then it's going to serve back a web page, basically, which will be using React that goes out to the client and shows them what they need to see. It's kind of a very fast little summary of it. I'm going to show you one kind of complicated picture that's probably be too much at this point, but let's do it anyway. We have the MongoDB at the end of it, at the bottom, running on your server, or could be on another server. And that MongoDB is combined with other pieces to form an application that's waiting for requests from the client. And Node.js is serving up this application. So this is the server. And then there's a web browser, right, that's showing you a page. And this could be running on another piece of hardware. Well, what we're doing is we're turning your laptop into this backend server. So it's going to have MongoDB on it, Node.js, Express, and it will have React loaded as well. And it will be producing web pages. Now, you're probably going to be running the browser from your laptop as well. So if you think of your laptop, it's both the backend server and the client, the front end also, because it has the browser running on it. But that's just how we're going to do it for the course. And we could take our MERN stack and have that be a server out in the cloud, like it could be loaded up to the cloud. And then your laptop would be hitting the cloud for serving it up. So that was the quick MERN tour. And we're going to start by doing the installation. You can find instructions out on the internet on how to set up a MERN environment. I use this set of instructions here in this link here, and that's what we're going to be using today, just because I did this before. I did this a while ago, several months ago, so it's a little bit shaky in my mind what we did. But I took some notes on the problems that I hit when I did it. So I'm going to run through it again and see how it goes, and undoubtedly I will hit problems as I go through this installation, and you could be following on your laptop, and you might be hitting issues as well. And this is very common when you set up a development environment, at a company. You'll be following the set of instructions, but you know what? They don't always work exactly how it's laid out. So some people might be able to set up quickly, and some people might really have to solve some complicated problems to understand, like, why did their setup not work? So it can really be quite tricky. But we're going to start by just going to this site, and we'll be following the instructions. Hopefully I have shared this document with you, and if I haven't, it's a Google Doc. If I haven't shared it with you, remind me and I'll share it with you. And it's where I took some notes on what happened when I did the installation and the steps I did. And you could edit this and add notes of your own when you try to follow along, because you might hit points that I didn't really take good notes on in here. This is a Windows install. If you're doing install on Apple, then it's probably going to be different, and it'd be great if you kind of are doing that platform to add some notes here where it differs from what I've done, because I really have no notes on the Mac product. Okay, so we're going to start off, and we're just going to do the first step, and I'm using this website to follow along, and it looks like we start off by installing Node. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to the suggested website, and we're going to download node.js. And we're supposed to download the latest LTS long-term support version. And so I'm just going to go here, LTS, window installer. It looks like it should be this right here. So I'm just going to click on that. I have a note here that says select automatically install the necessary tools. So we'll see when that comes up. I'm just going to save it. I will be pausing this video as I record to skip things that take a while to do, just so the video isn't really long. Looks like it's downloaded. I'm going to show it in the folder and open it up and get that going. I'll just pull this over here and we'll install it and see how that does. Okay, here it is. I'm going to hit next. It's going to install Node.js. I agree to the terms. Sure, that sounds fine. The default location for it. I think we want the default here. I don't think we want to do anything else, so we're just going to keep hitting next. And this is the one that I checked, automatically install the necessary tools. So we are going to check that. Install. And I'm going to pause the video until this finishes. It has finished installing, so we'll hit finish. And the next piece we're going to go on to is React. As I pressed finished, it popped up this script, and I will just press any key to continue. And it's going to download pieces. And I think I'm going to be in this spot for a while, adding these additional tools for Node.js. So I'm going to just pause again. So it's installing PowerShell at the moment. Now it's installing Chocolatey. Chocolatey is software for doing installations. It's something involved with that. It's asked me to hit enter, and it has a message up. I am just going to hit enter on this window and assume everything is okay. We're going to do a little check now to see if Node was installed properly, so we're just going to follow the instructions here. By the way, if you're on Mac OS, the instructions for what to do are down below in that main document. So let's bring up a command prompt and just see if everything went okay with Node.js. We're going to issue a command that checks the version number of Node, and it's going to see if it's in our path. And we're on 16.16, and we're going to check npm, which is used to install other components. We're going to make sure that's okay. And it looks like it is. It's very slow coming back with this answer. 8.11.0. So we are good on that, and we are going to move on to the next step.